Hello and welcome to today's lesson. Please, as you come in to the lesson, say hello. Tell me where you're from. So, for me, it's hello from Glasgow. Let me know who's here before we get started. Thank you for joining the live lesson today or for watching it later on YouTube, as a lot of people do as well. Philip, hello. How are you? Philip, am I right in thinking that you're in Galway? Is that correct? I wonder what the weather's like in Galway today. Okay, so in today's lesson, we're going to talk about collocations and collocations related to eating and drinking. So last week we did idioms. Oh, Asa, hello. You're in Brazil. I don't know why I thought you were in Galway. Have you been to Galway? Did you study in Galway before? Thursday, hello. You're in Galway last year. That's what it was. I thought you were one of the Brazilians who were in Galway now. Okay, but thank you for joining. Thursday, hello. Asa, it's nice to see you joining one of the lessons. Thank you for coming. Thank you, everybody, for coming. So as I was saying, we're doing collocations today, quite advanced collocations related to eating and drinking. Last week we did idioms, which was also related to food and drink. I don't know why I didn't, that wasn't on purpose. That was a coincidence that we've got two of these together. Or maybe I was just hungry when I was deciding what the lessons were going to be about. You never know. It could be that as well. But today we're going to do collocations, quite advanced collocations related to food and drink. We're going to have 10 sentences as usual and talk. Oh, hi, Angie. Thank you for joining us and talk about the meanings of the collocations and things like that as we go through. Obviously, I'll be asking you to participate as always and put some of your ideas. Even if you're not sure, please put your ideas in the live chat as well. It will give us things to talk about. And before we get going, just to talk, Pierre, hello, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Just to talk about what collocations actually are, in case you're not sure. So collocations are words which naturally go together in language, okay? So they're verbs with nouns and adverbs with adjectives and all these different things which we naturally use together in our language. That's a collocation. So it's not something as strong as a phrase, like a set phrase or an expression, but something that we just normally use together. A couple of the things we're going to look at today are probably a bit stronger than a collocation, more like expressions or phrases, but I'll point that out as we go. Collocations are so important in language at all levels, but especially as you're going from like intermediate to advanced, because you sound more natural, you sound more fluent when you use the correct combinations of words. Something to remember about collocations is that you can have strong collocations and weak collocations. So a strong collocation means that it goes together very often. Yeah, so that's the idea of a strong collocation. It's almost like a set phrase. And a weaker collocation just, sometimes you could say that, but it's not that natural. So, we need to clarify these things when we're talking about collocations, okay? And there can be different answers. That's something, that we'll probably find as we do today's lesson. Sometimes you can have different answers and sometimes it will be as good, sometimes it'll be weaker, sometimes maybe it'll be stronger as well. And with that in mind, with the examples I have today, I'm looking for you to complete one word, or sometimes two words actually, in sentences. And I've given you the first letter, okay, of the word that I'm looking for, because I've picked ones that I think are very strong collocations, quite natural use of the language. So you get the first letter just because if you don't have that, you could have lots of different answers and it could be chaos. So that's why I decided to do that this time. So thanks, Pierre. That's very, very kind of you. Let's get started then. I've almost been talking for 5 minutes already and we haven't looked at a sentence. So let's look at the first one. There's going to be a sentence, a gap. You'll have the first letter of the word and then you'll have an explanation of what it means after that. Okay, so we're going to start with a nice easy one and get you settled in with this. So let's have a look at our first sentence here. So you can see it in the live chat, and it is kids these days eat too much something food. Okay, so the word I'm looking for starts with the letter J, and the meaning is quick food that is bad for your health. Okay, there's maybe a more obvious answer that starts with F, but that's not what I'm looking for. Okay, so we've got, yes, okay, I told you this was an easy one. Okay, we're starting with that. Lots of correct answers here. So the answer is junk food. Let me just put the full sentence into the chat box so that you can see it. Okay, so it's junk food, so quick food. So this is obviously very similar in meaning. Pierre, I live in Glasgow, in Scotland, in the UK. So this is very similar in meaning in this case to fast food. Okay, so which is also a collocation or an expression. You can think about it that way. Okay, also the opposite of fast food, I don't know if anybody can guess what that is, but that's slow food. Okay, and that's quite a new expression in English. Slow food is the idea of something that takes a long time to cook, and you use good ingredients and things like that. So you've got fast food, but you've got or junk food, but you also have slow food. So that's another nice expression or collocation to throw into the mix. Okay, so we had 4 correct answers in that first sentence. Let's move on to the second one. So the second one is not quite so easy. And I think you could have more than one answer here, but we'll see what you do. It's important for your health to have something meals, something starting with the letter N, with the meaning of helping you to grow or be healthy. Okay? So I thought of natural meals. I wouldn't say that's a very strong collocation, Thusi, in this case. So, natural meals. You can maybe talk about natural food. Neutral means like, it's not positive, it's not negative. So that wouldn't work. Nutrition, Asa is getting closer to the answer that I'm looking for, but nutrition is a noun. And here in this sentence, we're looking for an adjective. Okay, so we're getting close with the answers. Like I said, there's 2 answers that I can think of here that would be equally as good. I only put one for now, and then I thought about another one. Nurture is a verb in this case as well. Nutritional, as a well done. That was the second answer that I thought of, because the first answer I thought of was nourishing meals. It's important for your health to have nourishing meals. So nourishing is like something that feeds you. Okay, something that gives you it's very similar in meaning to nutritional. Like you said, that was the other one I was thinking it was going to be right. Nutritional means that it has, vitamins and it has protein and it has all of these things that you need. And nourishing is like it feeds you. Yeah, so it's got good things in it to feed you. So it's very, very similar. Okay, almost no difference at all. But I would accept both those answers in this case. Nourishing meals, nourishing food, nutritious as well. So here we're collocating these adjectives, nourishing and nutritional, with meals, the noun, but we could also use these adjectives to collocate with food, for example. So nourishing food, nutritional food, or diet. You should say a nutritional diet as well. So there are other options of combining these words together, like I said at the start. Okay, I'm happy we got a correct answer for that one because I wasn't sure we were. So well done. Let's look at sentence 3. Sentence 3 is sometimes when I get home late from work, I just put a something meal in the microwave. So meals which have been pre-prepared and just need to be heated. So with the letter R in this case, what do you think could be the answer here with the letter R? So it's, you know the kind of meals I'm talking about, the ones you buy in the fridge or the freezer in the supermarket, and it's like spaghetti bolognese or something like that, and you just put it in the microwave, click it on for 4 minutes or whatever. I'm not sure. I don't even own a microwave, and it is ready. Yes, it's ready after 4 minutes. And that, of course, is the answer in this case. So that's the collocation we're looking at here, ready meals or ready meal in the sentence. Another collocation related to this, the same thing, is quite often we use is a ping dinner. Okay, so you know when you have the microwave on and it finishes, it silently goes ping. That's the noise it makes. Okay, and we use that to describe these meals as well. So we say sometimes a ping. Oh, Pierre, thank you very much. That's kind of you sharing my video. Everybody else, please do the same as Pierre. Share my videos. Invite people to like my channel. Join my Facebook group. All of these things. They're all good ideas. As I was saying, so a ping dinner, this is the same thing, a ready meal. It's something, a ping dinner is specifically for the microwave, I guess, because a ready meal you could maybe cook in the oven as well. And Daryl, hello, thank you for joining us. It's nice to see you. We're talking about collocations related to eating and drinking today. Okay, so you have to complete the sentences with just one word. So we had a ready meal or a ping dinner. In that case, let's look at the next one. The restaurant got closed down when some of its customers got food something, starting with P, after eating there. So the meaning is get sick or got sick by eating some food that is harmful. So harmful meaning it's got bad bacteria and things like that. So here we're actually looking for it to be a noun phrase, okay, or like a noun phrase, okay. And okay, we've got some. So poison, we all know that the answer includes some kind of poison. Okay, but the collocation we're looking for here, we don't quite have yet because we need the correct form of poison. So everyone's saying poison. Poison is something that you give to someone, or rats and things like that. So that's the actual substance. So it doesn't work in that. Poisoned, they got food poisoned. That works a little bit, thinking about it like a passive structure. But actually, the thing that you get from like a medical point of view is food poisoning. Okay, so that's the collocation there. And that's the most natural way to describe this, to get food poisoning. Think about that as an expression, so stronger even than a collocation. So if you said somebody was poisoned at a restaurant, even though the meaning is almost the same, it doesn't sound natural enough. It's not a strong enough collocation or expression. So poisoned doesn't really work, even though grammatically it makes sense. It's just not how we would say it. We would talk about food poisoning, somebody getting food poisoning. So that's, the most natural answer here, and the one that to native speakers will sound the most correct, because that's all collocations are, the thing that sounds the most correct. So in that case, get food poisoning rather than poisoned by food or any of those other options. So yes, let's have a look at the next sentence here. Okay, here we go. I like eating out, but sometimes you just want some something, something, food. Food made by someone in your house. So not a ready meal, not cooked from a restaurant, not a takeaway, none of those things. Somebody in your house took the time to cook this food. It's a two-part word here. First word starts with H. Second word starts with C. So we've got some answers coming in. Okay, and that's why I used house in the explanation. Home cooked, Philip, yes, and everybody else. So home cooked food, again, that as a collocation. So you could say food cooked at home. Okay, you can explain it like that, that's fine. But if we want to be more natural, if we want to use this collocation, use home cooked. With a hyphen, used like an adjective, yeah? Hence the ed, so home cooked food, which means food that is cooked at home. But that's a more natural way of saying it. So I'll put up the complete sentence just so that you can see it. Okay, good stuff. Lots of correct answers today. I'm very impressed. You're all doing very well. Okay, let's see if we can get a more difficult one to stretch you a little bit. Remember, if you feel like you're learning something in today's lesson, please hit the like button. It makes a big difference to me and my channel. Also, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Anyway, the next example. You shouldn't eat snacks so close to dinner. You'll something your appetite, starting with S. You won't be hungry anymore because you ate between meals. So suppress your appetite means like to keep it down. Okay? But that's not really the meaning that I'm going for here. So that does work, Angie. But the meaning I'm thinking about here is that you'll make your appetite bad, something like that. Meaning, you know, you have a packet of crisps or something unhealthy, and then you won't be so interested in eating anymore after that. So, you know, suppress your appetite. You could maybe think about that as being a positive thing because you're not trying to eat so much. But in this case, it's more negative. Okay, so you have some biscuits or a cookie or some cake or something like that before your dinner, and then you don't want your dinner, and that's not a good thing. So it's quite a negative word I'm looking for here, and something that means it makes it go bad. Okay. Pierre, you're very kind. Thank you very much. Okay, do you have any answers for this? Okay, stop your appetite. I guess that would mean you'll never be hungry again. Something like that. It's a good guess. It's not what I'm looking for in this case. So let's see. I'll put up the... This is a good collocation. I'm glad that we're learning something, and it's actually good. Sometimes stuck. No, that doesn't work. We need the infinitive in this case as well with the grammar of this sentence, Lucy. So let's have a look at this. So I'm glad that nobody has got this because it means that I'm teaching you something, and hopefully you're learning something as well. Let's have a look at this sentence. You shouldn't eat snacks so close to dinner. You'll spoil your appetite. You'll spoil it. So spoil in the meaning that, you know, for example, if you keep milk out of the fridge for too long, it spoils, it goes bad. So that's the same meaning here, similar meaning in the respect that you spoil your appetite and you won't be hungry anymore. So the situation is like you had some chips, some crisps, some cookies, something not nutritional before, and then you won't be hungry anymore. So it's a negative thing. Another word we could use in this case actually would be ruin. So to ruin your appetite has the same meaning. So ruin is like to destroy something. So it's a very negative connotation attached to this expression. You'll spoil your appetite, you'll ruin your appetite. Hello, somebody just came in. Unfortunately, I can't read your name, but hello. whoever you are, thank you for joining us. Today we're talking about collocations related to eating and drinking. And we've done quite a few examples already. In fact, I think we're halfway through. We've done 5 different collocations so far, like home cooked and junk food and nutritious food, nourishing food, all of those things. Okay, so let's have a look at the next sentence. Okay. Oh, Ahmed, hello. Nice of you to join. How are you doing? Wow, because there's no classes today in the college, of course. So, our full class should be here. Where's everybody else? Okay, so the next sentence is, I like to start the day with a something breakfast, which will keep me full until lunchtime. So the meaning here is large and makes you feel full. The starts with an H, but I'll tell you right away, it's not healthy. Okay, and it's not huge. Just as I said that, I knew somebody was going to that. Wasn't what I'm thinking about. So you can say a huge breakfast here, of course, but huge doesn't have the meaning of makes you feel full. Okay, so it does mean large, but I'm looking for some more advanced answers here, some more advanced vocabulary in this case. So huge, yeah, I should have said not huge, not healthy. Heavy, if you talk about a heavy meal, then that is used in a negative sense. But actually here, the word that I'm thinking about is positive because it's enough to keep you going. Okay, so if we use heavy, heavy could be an answer, but it has a negative connotation. And here I'm looking for a positive connotation. Okay, so let's see what we have the correct answer. I like to start the day with a hearty breakfast. Hearty. Okay. Focus on that pronunciation as well. A hearty breakfast, which will keep me full until lunch. So large, but not in a negative meaning of large. So just, enough. It makes you feel full. So a hearty breakfast. You can talk about um, hearty meals. You can talk about hearty food. You can talk about hearty cuisine from different countries as well. So, it's like there's a lot of it, and it's, it makes you feel full, but not in a negative sense. It doesn't mean it's unhealthy. It doesn't mean that it's bad for you. It just means that it makes you feel full and that you don't want to feel hungry. So it's actually a positive meaning here. Okay. Okay, good. Let's move on to the next one. The next one is more of an expression, I would say, than a collocation, because with a collocation, you can exchange words depending on what you want to express, like hearty, we could say heavy, but it changes the meaning and things like this. And so this was more like a set expression, I would say, but with a specific meaning. Okay. So it is, I haven't had anything to eat all day. I'm something of hunger. Okay, I'm really hungry. So hunger, remember, is the noun from the adjective hungry. Usually we use hunger to talk about, really bad situations in countries and things like that. That's the idea of hunger, in I don't know, countries that are having political problems don't have enough food to feed their countries and things like that. So but here, obviously we're not talking, this seems a bit extreme, this expression, but actually it just means that you're really hungry. It doesn't mean what it says. So Angie says dying, good as a dead. So you can actually say I'm dead hungry, which is quite a Scottish way of saying it, but not with of. I'm deadly of hungry. No. So here we need a verb in the ing form for this to make sense. Yeah. So Angie is correct. So well done. I'm dying of hunger. So as I said, this seems extreme, and it seems like, what, just because you haven't eaten all day, you're dying of hunger. But it doesn't mean that you're actually dying of hunger. It doesn't mean that, you know, you're malnourished or that you're actually going to die because you haven't had anything to eat. It just means that you're really hungry. I'm dying of hunger. So that's what this means there. Okay. Our next one, again, I would say this is stronger than a collocation, so it's actually an expression and is related to drinking, because I realized I didn't have any examples about drinking in here. So it is, my throat feels as dry as a something. I really need a drink. So this is a set expression or an idiom, simile as well. As dry as a something. You know, in English we have a lot of expressions like that, as adjective, as a something. I think I've done a video about that, if I remember correctly, last year at some point. Perhaps, yes, I did. Check that out. It's in my vocabulary lessons somewhere if you're interested in these expressions. So my throat feels as dry as a something beginning with B. I really need a drink. So this just means I'm very thirsty. The expression as dry as something can also be used just to mean that something is very dry. You know, so if you think something is wet and you touch it, and you say, no, it's as dry as a what is the question, though. Obviously, like I said, in this case, we're using it to describe your throat because you're thirsty. Okay, we don't have answers coming forward for this one. With these expressions, it's a kind of thing, you know it or you don't know it. Yeah. So sometimes things you don't know, it doesn't mean it's difficult. It just means you don't know it, because everybody understands what it means to feel very thirsty. Okay, so I think I'm just going to give you the answer in this case. My throat feels as dry as a bone. I really need a drink. So as dry as a bone means very thirsty, I need a drink. Or in other contexts, not related to food and eating and drinking, it can just mean very dry. Yeah, in that case. Okay, let's go on to our last sentence for today. And if you are a member of my Facebook group, Learn English with Alex, you have seen this sentence already, because this was the teaser, the little sample that I gave yesterday for this lesson. If you're not a member of my Facebook group, then why not? Join it. What are you waiting for? Join the group. Go on. Okay, Pierre told me to continue, so I'm going to continue. But this is the last one. A lot of supermarkets have seen an increase in the sales of something food in recent years. So the meaning here is vegan, or the meaning here is without any animal produce. Okay, so two words we have. First word starts with a P, second word starts with a B. Okay, good. And if anybody isn't sure what vegan means, it just means that it doesn't include any kind of meat or cheese or fish or anything that comes from an animal. Okay? And we can use this NGS and ASA as well. Okay. Quite a new expression, this, in English. Plant-based, the answer, I mean, in this case. Vegan has been around for a while, but plant-based seems to be, the past couple of years, everyone's talking about these kind of things. Not a bad thing, in my opinion, anyway. So a lot of supermarkets have seen an increase in the sales of plant-based food in recent years. So that means vegan. It means no animal products in that case. Well done. You did really well. A lot of very good and correct answers. A lot of interesting collocations related to eating and drinking today, like food poisoning, home cooked food, spoil your appetite, plant-based food, all of these things. So remember, these are collocations. It's good to try to group these by topics and themes, I think, because it's easier to remember them. It's good to have a notebook for these things as well, which you can organize these things, go back and check them, because just seeing something once is not usually enough to say that you actually know it and that you can use it. But it's a start, yeah? So thank you for joining today's lesson. It's been nice chatting with you all, as always. As I've said before, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on social media, join the Facebook group, etc., etc., etc. Thank you very much. And next week, I think we'll try to do a morning lesson on Thursday, but I'll let everybody know on social media, probably something about 10 or 10:30 UK time, because I have a little bit more time next week. Okay, so thanks everybody for coming. Hope to see you all soon. All the best.